I started my business in 1967. My travel company at that time was called General Travel. But before that, I was a young bride coming from Italy, and one day I went to downtown Boston to purchase my bedroom set because I was setting up my own. And my mother-in-law brought me to the Italian North End, and I have seen, I remember, by going through the streets, a name, Lucozzi Travel. And I said, oh, an Italian name. I did not know that in Boston there were a lot of Italians. So I asked my mother-in-law if I could go inside and try to talk to these Lucozzi Travel people. And I did go in, and I asked the young man who was downstairs if I could talk with the manager of the company. And I was, of course, speaking Italian, and they would understand me. So they introduced me to the manager, and I said to the manager, you know, I'm a young bride from Rome. I just came from Italy, and I'm looking for a part-time job. If you do have something to do, I see you are an Italian name, you have an Italian name, and you are representing the travel industry. And he asked me, what can you do? And I said, well, I can type, I can translate from Italian to English, because this young man, this man was also a notary public, and he was doing a lot of documents for the Italian people, was translating a lot of their documents to get these people to do their papers to get the family from Italy to the United States. So he had to translate a lot of documents, and that's what I started doing. After 2 weeks that I met, he hired me as a part-time. But also at that time there were no airplane travel, air travel. There were only steamship travel, and that was, I'm talking about 1956. So I started, however, getting involved somehow in the travel, and they were doing tickets, only selling tickets by steamship. Then I started, of course, a family, and I could not continue to work full-time, so I had my first son, and I stopped working for a while, but then I went back on a part-time job, and I kept helping Mr. Lucozzi in doing his work, and there also I started getting very familiar with the travel industry, the way the travel industry was at that time. But anyway, after I left the Lucozzi Travel, and I went to work for a bank, and I became very popular at the bank. I was the Haymarket Cooperative Bank, an Italian bank downtown Boston, because I was speaking Italian, and I was an outgoing person. I was, the Italians, the immigrants were very happy to talk to me. I could talk their language, and they felt very confident to talk to me, so I became very popular. And I think then they start calling me Donna Franca, these Italian immigrants, because in Italy, Donna, it's a title that they are giving to people for respect. So they were trying to, you know, showing me their respect by calling me Donna Franca. After the bank, I had other children. In fact, I had 4 children. So I had one other boy, and then later on 2 other girls. And and then I stopped working for the bank. When my youngest daughter was 3 years old, Mr. Lucozzi called me and he said to me that he was getting very sick and he wanted to sell his business. And he said to me, would you like to buy my business? I noticed that you have the quality of running this company. You are very attentive, you are very diligent, you are very conscientious, you're on top of every single details, and I think you could make a good business owner. And I said, but Mr. Lucozzi, I don't have the money to buy. I just have 4 children. I just bought a house, so we have a mortgage. Well, he said to me, you know, I give you a chance to buy it in installment. At that time, my mother was visiting me, and she was in Boston. And so that particular day, I went home and told her what the offer that Mr. Lucozzi made to me. And she said, well, why don't we ask your father for some money? Maybe he will help you to purchase Donna Franca Tours, a general travel. So my father did help me, and I purchased General Travel Company, and that was in 1967. Of course, the industry had gradually changed. There started being airline travel, and I started getting very much involved with the business and try to make the business grow. And so I started putting together some itinerary which I was offering to the Italian people that I had met during my work at the bank. And how would I get in touch with them? I also had a radio program, and every day I was on the radio, and I put together a little Italian program which was very informative. I was trying to teach the Italians how to travel, what to do when they were in Italy, to visit the most beautiful city like Rome, Florence, and Venice. I would advise them not to just go to Italy and stay in their old little town and spend all their money there. I would say to them, please travel before you go to your hometown. Go and see the beauty of Italy. It's your country, you come from that country. You want to know how beautiful Rome and Florence and Venice and the lake region and Sicily and Palermo and Taormina are. And so I started putting together some packages at that time, which I was offering through my radio program to the Italians. And I started getting some numbers of people traveling. At that time, there was also Pan American Airline who started a direct service from Boston to Rome. So the management heard about this. Donna Franca was offering these vacations to the Italians, and they had noticed that I was moving all by myself without anybody's help and support, about 500 people each year. So they came to me and they said, would you like to become a tour operator? We will endorse you, we will teach you what to do, we will try to promote your vacations. And of course you have to start developing a brochure and put down the packages that you are offering right now by yourself to going to churches, organizations. And so I said, okay, I'm very interested in becoming a tour operator. And so I did become a tour operator from Pan American. And I was putting on the market this Italian fever, so-called, because I thought that the people that went to Italy with me, they developed some kind of passion and some kind of fever for Italy that they want to go back. And that's why I call it Italian fever. So I started promoting the Italian fever in the East Coast, because Pan America was also flying out of Washington, Boston to Rome. So I would start getting some business from that area. After a while, of course, Alitalia found out that I was improving my product, and I was also moving more people. So they came to me and they said, you know, with a name like Donna Franca, you should really work with an Alitalia, with an Italian carrier. And so I did switch to the Alitalia, and since then I am still associated to Alitalia. Of course, the trade industry kept changing. Each year was developing and become more sophisticated, and therefore I did adjust to the changes, and I started making longer packages, additional destinations. I started including like Sicily, and I did have the program called Sicilian Fever, which was going all down to Sicily. So I started having two products. One was going north, the Italian Fever, and one going south to Sicily. Of course.
All right, describe your services, the destinations, and the restaurants, hotels.
First of all, I believe that in order to give a good service, you have to see with your own eyes what you are selling. And therefore, my philosophy was to go and visit the hotels that I was recommending and the restaurants that I was suggesting, travel on the motor coach that I was leasing for my clients. And I did a lot of travel to Italy to be with my groups also and make sure that everything was running properly. We always use first-class hotels, all with private baths and fully air-conditioned. We also offered five-star hotels, which were much more expensive. Also, restaurants was very important to choose restaurants that were catering to my clients and they were offering the best of menu. I was selecting menus for them and make sure that they did not eat the same menu each day of chicken and pasta. So I was trying to design also menus for my clients, because I know what Italy can offer and how many different recipes we do have, and each region is specialized in some kind of specialty. So I wanted my client, every time they travel from one city to another, to experiment the beautiful culinary treasures that each town, each city was offering. Tour managers, I was make sure that my groups would be handled by tour manager who stay with them for 2 weeks during the extension of their tour, and they were Italian speaking tour managers, very educated, with college degrees. I would not hire freelancers, just people that they have gone to college and they knew a lot about our history and art.
Great. All right, and next,
why I still in business.
Why do clients still come back to Donna Franca?
Okay. One of the reasons I believe that my clients are still coming back to me after 50 years is because I did plant a lot of good seeds. And when you plant good seeds, you get eventually good flowers. I make sure that every single vacation that I plan and design for my clients was the way they want it. I was making sure that the hotel that I requested were the one that they had in mind. And therefore, what happened, the people that traveled with me, they were so happy that when they came back, they were becoming my best salespeople. They would start talking about their trip, their emotions, their experiences with friends, with relatives, and therefore also the friends and relatives would call me for a vacation. And that the word of mouth kept me in business for so many years, and they still do. Clients who travel with me are very happy. They return. I also have a policy to call many clients after they take my vacation and ask them their opinion of my trip. And people, I notice, they like that personal touch, which I believe is very important in our industry, to call back and find out if they were pleased with all the arrangements. And word of mouth was the secret of my success.
Right, and I'm just going to finish off. What separates Donna Franca Tours from other travel agents or tour operators?
What I think the difference between myself and other tour operators is that I still personally supervise my product. I personally design my vacations. My great love for the country, my great knowledge, my great connections that I have with Italy helped me to put together the best packages, the most personalized vacation that are offered today on the market. Anybody can go to an internet and buy an hotel and purchase a vacation, but if they want something custom designed that suits their interest and their budget, they do have to come to me. And I believe many other tour operators do not have that facilities because number one, they don't want to spend time. Number two, they don't have the knowledge. Number three, they want to sell something that is easy to sell. And I believe that there is nothing something easy to sell. To make a great vacation, you have to customize, you have to design it, you have to plan it, and you have to make sure that that vacation has been designed just what you have in mind, with all the features that you would have want to have if you personally go on a vacation. So I put myself in the shoes of my clients, and I said, this is what I would like to do, and this is the way I want to do it. So if I like it, I know my clients would like it too.
Great. Just list the most
right.
popular destinations.
As you know, I have designed different packages featuring different regions of Italy. The most popular one that we sell is the alluring Amalfi Coast, which features Positano, Amalfi, Ravello, Capri, the beautiful Sorrentine Peninsula. Another package that we always have great demand for it. It's the packages to Tuscany. Tuscany is a very, very popular region, and we made some vacations presenting not only the most beautiful cities in Tuscany, like Florence, Siena, San Gimignano, Lucca, Pisa, but also the countryside. We take clients to vineyards, to private wine estate. We try to give them some culinary lesson, local culinary schools, and that is also one of our most popular packages, so much in great request. Another beautiful area are the lake regions, Lake Como, Lake Garda, Lake Maggiore. Another beautiful destination is the Cinque Terre, which is the beautiful 5 little towns in the Italian Riviera, which are connected one from the other to the other with little trains or by boat, and they are just beautiful. And we have a great request for that destination. And of course, Rome, Florence, and Venice, always the most important, popular city to include in our vacations. And let's not forget about the south, Sicily, we have packages to Palermo, to Agrigento, to Taormina, to Syracuse, to show them the ancient Greek towns with the beautiful scenery of what Sicily can offer, the beautiful, the valley of the temples of Agrigento, which reproduce the beautiful Greek temples that we have today still available for the clients to see. We
That's perfect.